Good morning. It's April the 9th, and I'm in Washington State. My name is Jane Prine, and I'm a board member for Thrive Nation. And you've just tuned in to Thrive Nation. We do 2 lives a week, and we present tools. And we will be talking about my Wheel of Life tool, which I also put on our Facebook page, and you're welcome to run that off for this activity if you'd like to. But before we get started, I would just like to welcome you. And if you're here, please let me know. I would be happy to say hi. Anyway, it's a gorgeous day in Washington State today. The sun is out, and even though we are at home, it's a gorgeous day to just take the dogs for a walk and be outside. My husband's on a bike ride right now, all by himself. And I have been running more, which has been really good. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, we would like to do the body check-in with you just to make sure that we're just grounded and that we can concentrate on what we're doing. So let's take 3 deep breaths if we could. And let's put our feet flat on the floor, or if you're sitting on a couch, or if your feet are up, let's just let them relax. And let's move on up to our ankles, and from our ankles to our shins, and from our shins to our knees. What sensations are you feeling? Our legs do a lot of work. Our feet do a lot of work for us. Moving up to our thighs. And now our pelvic region. Is there a little tightness there? If there is, just breathe into it. And then moving up to our abdomen, our chest. And again, notice any tightness anywhere, just breathe into it. Up our neck. And let's go up to the tops of our heads. And we'll just sit there for a second. Now let's go back down the back of our body. Let's go down the backs of our heads. To our shoulders. Is there any tightness in your shoulder? From your shoulders to your arms, and your arms out to your fingers. Moving back up our arms to our shoulders, let's go down our backs. And anywhere you notice any tightness or any sensations, just notice them. You can breathe into them or just notice them. Back down to our sit bones, to our backs of our thighs, to the backs of our calves, our ankles, and the bottom of our feet. Let's wiggle our toes, and let's get ready for our tool today. Just want to review what tools we've already done. We've done the Thrive Cycle, which kind of tells us what quadrant we're in. I think we're all kind of in quadrant 1 or square 1 at this point, with all that's going on in the world and the fact that we're all being asked to stay home. Hi, Jill. Hi, Wendy. So that has been kind of unusual for all of us. Even for somebody like me who's lived a long time, I've never seen anything like this before. It kind of reminds me of what my parents used to talk about during World War II, but I didn't live through World War II, so I didn't know. It was just history to me. So this is all very interesting. But I think one of the nice things about, if you can find a silver lining, is that we're connecting through many other modems. And I make a point every single day of connecting with somebody I haven't connected with. So I am happy we're doing these videos and these lives so that we can connect with each other. So when you look at that Thrive cycle, there are 4 different cycles. The first cycle is kind of the one where we're in, where everybody's been asked to stay home and stop. And I know it's much more difficult for some than others. There are people that are very ill, and that's very scary. People that are dying, and that's just very sad. So kind of look at those cycles and see, and it's okay with whatever cycle you're in. Then we talked about our Thrive team. Who do we surround ourselves with? Who can we surround ourselves with? And even if we're at home and we can't surround ourselves with the people that we want to surround ourselves with, like from work or from play or from working out or from our leisure activities, we can still connect with them on Facebook or social media of some kind. So we can definitely connect with them. And that's what our Thrive team is there to support us. And today we'll be talking about the Wheel of Life. And I do hope that you had an opportunity to look at it. I posted it this morning. I didn't want to do it too early because I wanted some explanation with it. And I am going to show you what the Wheel of Life looks like. And it looks like this. And if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, that would be great. This is just one way of doing the Wheel of Life. You can add whatever other categories you want. But take a moment and take a piece of paper and maybe you've already run it off. I did run this off of the Facebook page, so I do know that it is able to be run off from our Facebook page. And you'll notice that we have written down home, family, friends, relationships. It doesn't necessarily mean a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, significant other. It can be any kind of relationship. Sister, brother, mother, father, whatever it is. Fun and leisure, what do you just love doing? And what are some of your hobbies? What have you discovered about yourself since you've been home? And what have you been learning? And what do you want to learn more about? One of the things that this pandemic has caused me to do, at least, is to take stock of what I want to go back to and what I don't want to go back to doing. So that has been a very interesting discovery. And then finances and money are really tough for a lot of people right now. And then we have our work and career. Now, you can put other items instead of those 8. You can add different categories to your Wheel of Life. But the point here is to let you look at and become fully aware of the different areas in your life and to set some positive goals and take positive action to achieve greater balance in those areas. So once you've written down or once you have your wheel, then let's look at those, and using a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is very dissatisfied and 10 is fully satisfied, where do each of these fall right now, today, on your scale? Let's go ahead and take a couple moments to number those 1 to 10. And once we have those, then I'll tell you what we'll do next. And if I'm looking out, it's because the sun is out and I can see the water from my window. Now, once you have done the 1 to 10, you've given a value to each one of those areas, then draw a new circle so you can see where your Wheel of Life looks right now. What are your 10s? What are your 8s? What are your 5s? Do you have any 1s? Do you have any 0s? So the things that you are highest in are the things that you want to keep doing. The things that you're lowest in, the ones that you've marked lowest, how can we help you set some goals to move those higher if that's something you want to do? If those are low categories with low value, if those are categories with low values, maybe that's something you don't want to continue doing. That's just an idea and just a thought. So this wheel of life is really fun because you can do it periodically, and it changes. It doesn't always stay the same. What was happening 2 months ago in your life is not happening today, most likely. I know that my life is very different, and I'm assuming most people's lives are very different than they were back in early January or even early February, before we were required to stay at home and not travel. So, and things were canceled, weddings and funerals and graduations and all kinds of major life events. So things are very different. So I would recommend that once we're out of our self-quarantining and we've been allowed to go out back in public with each other, that we maybe do another wheel of life and see how it's changed or how it stayed the same, and ask ourselves, what do we want to go back to and what do we want to leave behind? So that is our tool for today. I highly recommend that you run it off of our Facebook page because it is up there. Take it and use it as many times as you want to. And if you have any suggestions on things you would like to see us present or talk about, we would be happy to take those suggestions. Please let us know. And we will be live again next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Alaska time, 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 1 o'clock Central Time, and 2 o'clock Eastern Time. And in Europe, I believe that's 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So anyway, Wendy and Jill, it's good to see you. And I will be back here, hopefully, at the end of next week, next Thursday. So talk to all of you soon. Thanks. Bye.